Hey, Mark Yagi again. Hey, did your broker tell you to buy Bitcoin, your stockbroker? Or did your broker tell you not to buy Bitcoin? Right? I know a lot of people that are brokers, and I used to be one myself, and I can tell you this is not something we were allowed to tell people about. It didn't exist when I was in the business, but I mean, we wouldn't have been allowed to tell people that. Why is that? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about that and how much of a disservice your broker might be doing to you because you're listening to him, right? And so I don't think the brokers have the whole picture. So let's get into it. Let's start with the theme of this video. It's follow the money. Why would a broker tell you not to invest in the greatest performing asset in human history? This asset 15 years ago was trading for a penny. A penny. It's $100,000 now, okay, or $95,000 today. Take a look at the chart on your screen. The chart on your screen shows 5 years ago it was about what? $8,000, $9,000? It's 10 times that. Are your investments making 10x? Or are you handing your money over to brokers and saying, here, just do what you got to do. You know, I trust you. I'm busy doing my thing. I'm busy doing my surgeries. I'm busy making making my fees in my law firm. And you're giving your money to some salesperson. That's a broker. I used to be one, so I'm allowed to say this, right? I could say it anyway, actually. But that person are they doing you a service? What are they doing? You take a chunk of money into your brokerage firm, right? And what do? You hand it over to them and they give you this fancy schmancy portfolio. I used to do this all the time and I thought that was the right way to do it. That's how I was trained. And so I would sit down and go, well, we're going to put you over in this portfolio of stocks and bonds and mutual funds and ETFs, and we're going to engineer it so that you make about 8.5%, 9%. That's what the S&P 500 does. It's done it for the last 100 years. So you want to be in something that hedges you there. You want to be in some big caps and you want to be in some small caps. Gold, that's too risky. We don't want to put you too much in gold, but you can have a little bit of something. And then we want to put you in small caps and we want to do some bonds. Bonds have gone down 50%. 50% while you were making your 2 to 4%, and that was a part of your portfolio. Great advice, right? The stock market has gone up way more than 9% over the last couple of years, right? Great advice. But you've been making your 8, 9, 10%, maybe you even kind of got it up to 12%, and you're thrilled. I know a lot of buddies of mine that used to work for Fortune 500, they're like, this is so cool, we're making 9, 10%, that's great. And they think they're doing well. Well, I did a study and I did a video back about 3 or 4 months ago or so, and I went to ChatGPT and I went to some of my other resources and I said, hey, what's the inflation rate really running for different goods, right? Not the goods they tell us, because I don't know if you guys know this, but the Fed and the CPI people that put the CPI index together, it's out of the Fed. What they do is if they take a basket of goods, eggs and meat and rent and cars and TVs, and they put it into a basket of goods, the things that we need to live on. And they price that basket of goods. And they say, well, inflation's running 2%. I don't know if you think inflation is 2%, but I know it isn't in my life. So they take their basket of goods. Let's just use their basket of goods. And then what they do is if filet mignon starts to become too expensive, they go, you know what? We're going to do a substitution on filet mignon. They don't tell you this. And they pull out the filet mignon and they put in hamburger. Right? And they say, well, filet mignon was $19.99 a pound, and the hamburger is only $7.99 a pound, so it's still beef. It's good. It's still beef. So this basket of goods is not going up as much as they tell you. Bunch of crap, right? Right? Like you can't believe anything anymore, practically. Even me. Don't believe me either. Just do your own research. So if you're not making, I did the study, if you're not making 11.1% a year, at least in the last 5 years, this study came out to be true, you weren't even keeping up with the rate of real inflation. You weren't even able to stay even with the buying power of your dollar, which has declined by 11% a year over the last 5 years. You could tell because houses were $250,000 and they're like $450,000 now on average, right? Eggs were 79 cents and now they're $2.79. Rent was $1,000 a month and now it's $2,700 a month. Whatever. I don't need to tell you. You're smart. And so, if you're getting 8, 9, 10, 11, 12%, you're not even growing your portfolio. You think you are because you look at it and you go, oh, it was more than last year. I guess that's cool. And if you don't know about money, if you trust somebody that's a salesman, a salesperson that gives you these fancy spreadsheets, what they're doing is they're doing you a disservice. Why? Follow the money. Because they make money on your money. What do? They take your money and they invest it. And they invest it using the same kinds of stuff that I do. I do programs on covered calls. I buy the stock, I sell the option against it, and I create income. And we shoot for 1 to 2% a week or 2 to 4% a month. That's way more than 8% a year or 10% or 12, even 20%, it's still more than that. And so if you're not making 11.1%, you're not even keeping up with buying power, but you're not even growing your portfolio. You need to be doing 20, 22%, 25% to be growing your portfolio every year. And you're going to look at me and go, Mark, that's just too rich. That's irresponsible advice you're giving. You know, people shouldn't be shooting to make 25%. Oh, no? So that you'd rather have them, when they're 65, be able to barely afford to live in a nice house that they're living in today, have to scale down to one car because we're two people, we only need one car, and they contract their life. Is that better? No, it's not better. Take a look at this chart. Take a look at this chart. This is a company called MicroStrategy. I can guarantee you that your broker, if you call them and say, hey, I want to buy some MicroStrategy, will say, you're crazy. Don't buy that. It's really risky. Or if you want to buy it, they will try to talk you out of it. I can guarantee you that none of them are recommending it. It's a crazy stock. Well, sometimes crazy stocks are unbelievable. They're doing really well. Look at this stock. If they told you just, 4 years ago to not buy this at $14, right there where it is on the chart, $12, $13, $14, the stock is now $364. It got up to $538 or $540 a couple weeks ago, right? And they told you not to buy it because it was too risky. This is a game changer, everybody. And I'm not telling you to go out and buy it. I'm telling you that the people that are preventing you from making good decisions are people that are costing you money, and you're trusting them. Why? Follow the money. They don't make a market in this. Okay? They don't take your money and give it to their trading floor and make a market in this. What do they make a market in? They make a market in the ones that they research. And the ones that they research, they call up all their clients and they go, hey, Mr. Client, I think you should look at buying Salesforce CRM or IBM or whatever they're making a market in. And they get to buy it low and sell it high and buy it low and sell it high. And they make a market and they dole it out to their customers every day, right? That's how brokerage firms work. They recommend products that they make money in. Their brokerage firm gives a wrap fee, okay, to the broker, and the broker gets paid on assets. Why? Well, because the more assets they have, the more that they can trade in the background without you knowing about it, doing these kinds of strategies that we do, right? Look at MicroStrategy. That is an unbelievable stock. Did brokers tell you back in 2014? Let's go back to 2000. It goes down to 2016. They tell you to buy this little company called Tesla. You know, did they tell you in 2019 to buy Tesla at $17 and the stock is at $500? No, they didn't tell you that because they weren't going to make money on telling you that. Plus, they don't want you to lose money either, and these stocks are considered risky, and they have risk to them. But there's also a risk of not making money at all, right, and not keeping up with inflation at all. Like, which risk would you rather have? Running out of purchasing power when you're 65 years old and you can't work, or maybe having a stock go down for a little while, like it did right in here, or like it did right in here, or like it did right in here, and eventually came up to $500 from 17, right? So you got to wonder what the heck is going on. So the question is, did your broker tell you to buy Bitcoin? Did your broker tell you not to buy Bitcoin, right? Did your broker tell you to buy MicroStrategy? Did your broker tell you not to buy MicroStrategy to hang away from it? Did your broker tell you to buy Tesla? Did your broker tell you not to buy Tesla? I could go on and on. Apple, let's do one more. Apple, right? A lot of people in my mastermind group are on Apple and they're making 40% a year minimum. One guy just told me on the last mastermind call that he made 76% since May on Apple. Well, Apple hasn't gone up 76%. That's a buy and hold strategy. He made it by selling covered calls on Apple, okay? So since May, which is right in here, okay, it was $187. Now, yes, it did go down, but it also went back up. It's Apple. Like, I don't see a world without Apple, at least in the foreseeable future. And it's at an all-time high at $254. Did your broker call you and tell you to buy Apple? Probably not. They're not making a lot of money on Apple. Did they try to talk you out of it? I'd say probably not, because it's Apple. Like, they're not going to do that. But you have to decide who the professionals are that you're listening to, okay? I have a saying. It's my saying. I say it all the time. Nobody listens, but it's never give up your power in your health, your wealth, or your time? That's all I'm asking. Just question it. I'm not saying believe everything you hear or don't believe everything you hear. Just question it. Do your own research. Never give up your power and your health, your wealth, or your time. Well, most people, what they do with their wealth is they don't take a few minutes and learn about money. It's like the thing we use every day. That's the one thing we're not taught about. And you got to learn about it, unfortunately. Channels like mine on YouTube and Rumble or wherever else I am, and my courses teach people about money. And we don't teach you how to make 8 to 10 or 12% a year. It's not what we do. We teach you how to exceed that. We shoot for 2 to 4% a month. Anyway, I just want to kind of make you think about something in a different way. A lot of people tell me I think differently, and I think I do. But are you thinking differently too? Because if you're thinking the way Mother Sparrow is giving you the worm every morning and you're not questioning it, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're just blindly shoving your money over to some broker and not digging underneath the covers about how they're making money and why they're recommending this to you and all that stuff, you're doing yourself a disservice. The last thing I'll say here is that they want to shoot for average returns. Why do brokers want to shoot for average returns? Follow the money. They don't want to get sued. If they get you an average return, you're not going to go to the judge and go, Your Honor, I got what everybody else got, so give me some more money, and you're going to win. The Honor's going to laugh at you. But if you lose a little bit of money and you decide to sue, and you go, Your Honor, the average return last year was 9% and I lost 3%. The judge is going to go, you were being irresponsible and you recommended this risky thing, because judges don't understand money either, right? And so brokerage firms are their hands are tied. I mean, God bless them. There's some great people in the brokerage firm. I know a lot of them. I used to be one. But they shoot for average because average doesn't get you sued. So remember this as I kind of wrap this up. Wall Street is run by salespeople and lawyers. And everybody's got to make their money and everybody's got to do their job, but are they doing you the service that you need them to do for your money? That's the question you need to ask. You need to ask it to yourself, and maybe you need to ask it to your professionals. I'll see you on the next video. Hi, Mark Yagi here. Ready to transform your financial future? Well, I'm inviting you to my special live income accelerator. It's your ultimate 4-week live training designed to supercharge your income. This live training runs 4 Wednesdays in a row starting on January 15th. Not only will you get actionable strategies for how to create income using covered calls, but you'll also receive my fast launch trading course and exclusive mentorship from me throughout the 4 weeks. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned investor, this training is designed to fit your needs. And because I like to keep my groups small, you'll get personalized attention. Join today and get an early start on the course so that you can hit the ground running when we begin. And grab some extra bonuses before the class even starts. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Your financial future is just a click away. See you in the Income Accelerator. Visit the link to join now. Hey, it's Mark Yagi, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that right now. That would be a great favor to me, and plus it helps me get this material out to a lot of other people that might need it. I've got a little bit of a movement going on here, and I want to try to change the world one person at a time, showing them that you can make safe, reliable income from the stock market. And plus it helps to grow the channel a little bit. Also, if you would give me a thumbs up on the video and like it, great. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, that's cool. But just tell me why you don't like it so I can get better. And then hit the notification bell so you can get these videos as soon as they come out, because a lot of times this is timely information and you want to get that information before it gets stale. The last thing is to join my free Insider Tips newsletter. There's a link below and you get everything in one spot. You get breaking news and analysis also. So that would be great if you could do that too. See you soon.